When you think about business, what comes to mind? Products, sales, marketing campaigns? The deals you see on the surface might seem like the whole story, but there's a hidden architecture behind every thriving company, a network of unseen structures that quietly shapes profits, guides decisions, and even determines who succeeds and who fails. These are the hidden business shapes. They're invisible forces that operate beneath the surface, almost like an underlying language of business that few truly understand. And the truth is, if you don't recognize them, you may be leaving your profits, your growth, and your future on the table without even realizing it. Business isn't just about selling a product or service, it's about systems, patterns, and structures that define how value flows, how decisions are made, and how resources are allocated. The companies that thrive aren't always the ones with the flashiest marketing or the biggest budget. They're often the ones that understand the hidden shapes within their organization, the invisible frameworks that control everything from efficiency to innovation. Imagine a building. You admire its design, its glass walls, its shining exterior. But the true strength lies in the unseen beams and supports, the engineering hidden from view. In business, the hidden shapes are like those beams. They're the invisible strategies, the unseen decision-making structures, and the quiet forces that either hold your business up or let it crumble under pressure. Let's start with one of the most fundamental shapes, the way decisions are made. On the surface, a company may appear flat, modern, and democratic, with every team member having a voice. But in reality, the decision-making shape often looks more like a pyramid. At the top, a few individuals set the direction. Their priorities ripple down through the layers, influencing how teams operate, what projects get funding, and how risks are approached.
Understanding this shape is critical. If you don't see where the power actually lies, you may waste time on ideas that never have a chance of moving forward. Some reports suggest that in high-performing organizations, this pyramid is more fluid. Decisions move quickly, yet the intent remains clear. In other companies, the pyramid is rigid, slowing growth and frustrating talented teams. Recognizing where your decisions are shaped allows you to navigate the system more strategically. Next is the hidden shape of resources. Money, talent, technology, these are the lifeblood of any business. But how they are allocated often follows a pattern few people notice. Some organizations distribute resources like a circle, spreading them evenly across departments. Others operate more like a funnel, concentrating support on a few key projects or high-performing divisions. The impact of these shapes is enormous. A circular approach can feel fair, but it risks diluting effectiveness. A funnel approach can accelerate success in certain areas, but may leave others struggling. Understanding the underlying shape of resource distribution can give you insight into the company's priorities and predict where growth will actually happen. Communication is another invisible structure. At first glance, it might seem that teams are open, collaborative, and exchanging ideas freely. Yet beneath the surface, communication often follows distinct channels that define who influences whom. Some organizations operate like a network, with information flowing horizontally across teams. Others rely on vertical channels, where directives move down from leadership and feedback slowly moves upward. The shape of communication determines not only efficiency, but also culture. When communication is a tangled web, messages get lost, decisions are delayed, and innovation suffers. In organizations where communication follows a clear and intentional shape, ideas move faster, problems are solved quicker, and employees feel more empowered. Recognizing these shapes allows you to adapt your approach, ensuring your voice is heard in the right places.
The way a business interacts with its customers is another hidden shape that profoundly impacts profits. Some companies build relationships like a tree, with a deep root system of loyal customers supporting long-term stability. Others resemble a wave, constantly chasing new customers without cultivating lasting bonds. Understanding this shape helps you predict revenue patterns and identify risk. If your customer relationships are shallow and transactional, even small market shifts can have a major impact.
But if your relationships are deep, stable, and resilient, your profits become more predictable, and your business can weather challenges with greater confidence. Beyond communication and customer relationships, there is a quieter shape forming inside every business, the shape of decision-making. In some organizations, decisions move like a straight line, passing quickly from insight to action. In others, they spiral endlessly through approvals, meetings, and revisions. This hidden geometry determines how fast a company can respond to opportunity or danger. When decisions are trapped in loops, momentum dies and competitors gain ground. But when the decision shape is intentional and streamlined, clarity replaces confusion and progress becomes a natural outcome rather than a struggle. Innovation is rarely a straight line. It is shaped by culture, structure, and incentives. Some businesses have an open lattice of innovation, encouraging ideas from every corner of the organization. Others are structured like a maze, where only certain pathways lead to execution, and most ideas never see the light of day. These hidden innovation shapes determine whether your company evolves or stagnates. Organizations that understand and deliberately craft their innovation structures can anticipate trends, adapt quickly, and seize opportunities before competitors even recognize them. The companies that fail often do so not because of lack of ideas, but because their innovation shape unintentionally blocks progress. By now, you might be asking, am I aware of these hidden shapes in my own business or the companies I invest in? This is where things get interesting. Most leaders focus on visible metrics, sales numbers, profit margins, market share, but the invisible shapes often hold the true leverage. Recognizing them is like discovering a secret map that guides you through complexity and uncertainty. And once you start seeing them, you begin to notice patterns everywhere, in team dynamics, operational choices, and even customer behaviors. Competition is another hidden shape. Many people think of competitors as a straightforward opponent, a rival to outmaneuver in a market. But the shape of competition is more subtle. Some industries resemble concentric circles, where companies operate in overlapping spheres of influence, constantly adjusting to each other. Others are more like a ladder, with clear hierarchy and visible moves that define who advances and who falls behind. Understanding competitive shapes allows businesses to anticipate shifts, respond strategically, and avoid reactive decisions. Companies that ignore these patterns often find themselves scrambling, while those that see the shape can position themselves to capture opportunities that others miss. Culture may feel intangible, but it has a very real geometric influence. Some organizations are shaped like a strong core, with a few deeply held values radiating outward and influencing every action. Others are more fragmented, with pockets of subcultures that may conflict or compete. The shape of culture affects employee engagement, decision-making speed, and ultimately profitability. Businesses that actively recognize and shape their culture can harness it as a powerful tool for alignment and growth. Risk is rarely random. The way an organization approaches risk follows distinct patterns. Some are structured like a ladder, moving carefully, step by step, assessing consequences at each level. Others are more like a network, spreading risk across multiple areas to balance potential losses and gains. The hidden shape of risk management determines how resilient a company is when challenges arise, and how aggressive it can be in pursuing opportunities. What's fascinating is that these hidden shapes do not exist in isolation. They interact, overlap, and amplify one another. A company with a well-structured decision-making shape, but a fragmented communication network may still struggle. A business with deep customer relationships, but a poorly shaped innovation system may plateau despite loyal customers. The most successful organizations recognize these interconnections and intentionally design their structures to reinforce one another. Think about this. Every time you enter a business meeting, launch a project, or evaluate a strategy, you're operating within these hidden shapes, whether you see them or not. The companies that thrive aren't just lucky or well-funded. They are aware. They understand the invisible architecture that guides action, controls flow, and shapes outcomes. And this awareness is something anyone can cultivate. Once you begin to perceive these hidden structures, your perspective on business transforms. You see opportunities where others see chaos, clarity where others see confusion, and potential where others see risk. If this perspective opened your eyes even a little, imagine how much more you could gain by paying attention to the hidden shapes around you every day. Think critically about the structures guiding your decisions, your teams, and your customers. Reflect on how your own actions align with the invisible frameworks shaping success. If you found this exploration insightful, take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Which hidden shape do you think has the most influence on profits? Or maybe you've noticed a hidden shape in your own business that changed everything. I'd love to hear your experiences. Because at the end of the day, success isn't just about what you see, it's about understanding what lies beneath, the invisible architecture that quietly controls the outcomes that matter most.